Greetings, fanboys and fangirls. Jared here with another video from Fanboys Forever. Today's video, I'm just here to talk about some things that are on my mind in regards to the new series Masters of the Universe Revelation. As I'd said in my video where I had talked about what I was worried about and what I was excited about with this new series, I gave a lot of time and a lot of attention to all of the things that had been reported on very widely by sensationalist YouTubers. Keep in mind that I did a full review with Brandon of the Masters of the Universe Revelation series, so if you want to see my in-depth thoughts about what I liked and what I didn't like so much, you can get into it there. But there is something I hit on very strongly in that review, and it's the fact that there is not a woke agenda or some kind of liberal crazy messaging in the series. It's just not there. And so before we go any further, I just want to say this is full spoilers for Masters of the Universe Revelation, so if you've not watched it yet, you may want to watch it, come to your own conclusion. Certainly don't listen to these clowns on YouTube who are trying to make this show look bad. Kevin Smith did not kill He-Man, and if you think he did, then you didn't watch the show very closely. It's just obviously a cliffhanger that's meant to make you think this, just like the movie serials of old. But I'll tell you who may have killed He-Man, and that's us. A lot of us anyway. You may not count yourself among them, but the vitriol and just absolute disgraceful hate and ridiculous theories that people have come up with for why the show made creative decisions that the show did, that could indeed actually kill He-Man. And when I say kill He-Man, I mean kill the potential of this series, kill the potential for another season, kill the potential for a live-action adaptation, kill the potential for more toys. Fans are doing it themselves. This kind of nonsense has to stop, and we have to become more open-minded as fans. I want to just start with a microcosm of exactly what I'm talking about. And this is the Rotten Tomatoes page right now for the show. You can see that we have 94% from professional critics. This should be a reason to celebrate. And by the way, it is worthy of that, I believe. But then you've got a 32%, which used to be like 26 before people started fighting back against some of the review bombing, which clearly happened with this show. 32% audience score? Oh my gosh. Review bombing is getting so old, and it's so pathetic when you think about it. I also think it's important to preface this by saying that I did run across some fairly well-written, strong criticisms of the show, and I appreciate those. I don't think any product is above criticism, but what I want to get at today are just how ridiculous some of the criticisms are. Not all of them. So let's go in and look at some of these reviews. Here's a fun one. I can tell the difference between fictional characters and real people, but they fail to realize that even though I know they're fictional characters, I see cry, I still feel heartbreak. It actually screws me up emotionally for days. They destroyed the comic. It seems a spin-off. They should have called the Tila show. He-Man without He-Man, and Skeletor is another comic. And you're telling me that L's review here is just as valid as the professional critics' reviews? Oh my gosh. This seems like it was written by a bot. It really does. It's broken. It's insane. I was so let down by this series, and I made an account to leave a review. I don't understand what professional critics see that I don't. It's a He-Man series without He-Man. Okay, that's not right. Like, why do you hate your fans? Did you guys take a page from the creators of The Last of Us 2? Not even the fantastic animation. They even have to acknowledge that. Can save this train wreck. You absolutely destroyed any character that could be considered a competent masculine role model. Seriously? They destroyed all of them? You guys did to your audience what I did to my parents. You let them down. Know your audience. This seems like a joke, especially that last line. I'm not even sure how serious this is. This is someone who's fully indoctrinated into this woke foolishness. Spoiler alert, you really made a He-Man cartoon with no He-Man. This is the first half of the story, guys. The second half, if you can't tell where this is going, then you don't know about foreshadowing at all, because clearly the show is building up to a big He-Man comeback. Man, everything doesn't have to modernize to fit the culture of today. Ah, boy. They kill off or hide every male character in the story. Oh my gosh. This person didn't even watch the show. Every male character? That is not true. He-Man and the Master is a bait and switch. It's an insult and a slap in the face for anyone who is a kid like the show. Then to add insult and injury, they make the new star Sheila straight up B. Rude and unlikable. Even if this... You know what? I guarantee you they never would have said that about a male character. Guarantee it. Sheila. Is it a joke? Or are they saying Sheila to make fun of Tila? It doesn't really work as a joke. We were lied to, plain and simple. Yes, plain and simple. This was a complete disappointment. I won't give any spoilers away, but this is not about He-Man, just pure disappointment. The whole crux of the show is the shadow of He-Man looming large over everything in the show. It is literally about He-Man. It just so happens that he doesn't feature as prominently as he did in past iterations. Systematically destroyed all the main characters by the second episode. Really? All of them? And then replaced them with artless tools for Ann and Jenda. That's right, Ann and Jenda. Feel so sorry for the hardworking animators and the voice actors who are now associated with this irreparable mess. Oh my gosh. Could it be that you're possibly upset about, I don't know, a woman, or maybe even, God forbid, a black female being leads in the show? I'm just saying. This was a completely different show than what I remembered from the He-Man show. I like how they reference it like it's called the He-Man show. It probably would have been alright if it was new IP. As is, it was somewhat of a fraud. To be fair, most of what Kevin Smith has done since Mallrats would also be a half-star. He is M. Night Shyamalan with less good movies. These are hilarious. I could read these all day. Clickbait. After I realized this was not a He-Man series, the plot became predictable. Say what you want to about the show, but I really don't think the plot is predictable. It must be opposite day. This show is an absolute disaster in every way. From the plot to the voice acting, it's an embarrassment, an affront to my childhood memories. Even if it wasn't a remake, a new IP, it's just a bad show. Like, really bad. Oh my gosh. I like how it's an affront to my childhood memories. Oh my gosh. Embrace something new.
Try something new.
Gee, things need to move forward. I wouldn't have wanted a remake of the original. We've got to move forward. It's got to be a little different. But keep in mind, guys, it's bad. Like really bad. It sounds like Shaggy doing a review. Not what everyone is expecting from the trailers and marketing materials. I didn't want to rate it so low, but was extremely disappointed after seeing the first 5 episodes. Unless they did another 180 degrees and bring He-Man back to life again and have him kick and save the day. This will remain at half a star for me. I'm not keeping my hopes high, though, since throughout the first 5 episodes, already hinting at the end we're probably going to get She-Man instead. She-Man! Not that there's anything wrong with that. This must have been Jerry Seinfeld that wrote this one. I just am not looking for another Star Wars Last Jedi type show, and was extremely disappointed by the way that this show has misled all of us in what we were getting if this is how it turns out at episode 10. Oh boy, clearly this is building to exactly what you think it's not building to. Clearly He-Man's going to come back to life. Mattel would have never commissioned a show all about killing He-Man off permanently, okay? It's called building suspense. Tila is going to be the new sorceress. Clearly, that's always been hinted at in everything. But people like this are just so blinded. It's insane and it's embarrassing. I like, no capital I's, I guess. I like Tila, but I didn't sign up to watch Tila, Master of the Universe. If you were going to do this, you should have made a spinoff. It had nothing to do with He-Man. A He-Man series without He-Man. Nice. Boy, oh boy. All of the Masters are so instrumental in this show, you know, and He-Man is out of commission through most of these first 5 episodes. But clearly, I mean, the other Masters for the win. I mean, it's a constant group effort. They all have to work together. I don't even get this. It's not just about Tila. It just so happens she's given a little more focus. And I do want to say about the Last Jedi reference that we had earlier. With the comparisons I'm seeing to this and Last Jedi, it seems the only thing that people are saying that it has in common, because it doesn't really have anything in common with it. Well, The Last Jedi actually kills Luke, but this doesn't actually kill He-Man, so it doesn't even really have that. I figured it out. The male star has taken a backseat to a female lead. That's what they're actually upset about. It was bad. The story, the plot, and the character were awkward, not He-Man. I remember the original show when I used to watch the reruns, but this was not the show. I like the original, and if you did as well, then don't waste your time. The animation is the only thing giving it a half star. That animation was just barely hanging on to get him that half star. Wanted nostalgia. Got my favorite characters killed and sidelined in first episode. Avoid. See, look at this. Wanted nostalgia. It smashes childhood memories of this show. Please cancel further episode. I am disappointed. At least He-Man doesn't have a friend, in quotation marks. a friend. I wonder if this reviewer has any friends. They actually gave it 1.5 stars, so this is the most positive review that we've read. This was such a disappointment, especially Evil Lynn, who acted more like Harley Quinn. Triclops, which they misspelled, looked stupid with that hat. And his cult storyline was not as interesting as I felt it could be. And of course, the lack of He-Man in his own show is simply mind-boggling. Fans of the original cartoons probably will not like this. I just love that this one talked about the hat. Now it's getting petty. I was pumped when I started watching the first episode. These people don't want to capitalize I. The battle between He-Man and Skeletor, and then I saw how Teela reacted. And I heard Sarah's voice that didn't match Teela, and I started feeling like this isn't right at all. I tried to keep watching, but I just got more upset, so I turned it off. I could not believe I stayed up all night to watch this. Later, I tried watching it again, and when it was over, I was just disgusted. Teela used to be a strong warrior who actually could hold her own against He-Man. Kevin Smith not only killed He-Man, he made Teela unrecognizable. I'm not a person who leaves reviews, but after watching MOTU, I was so upset by what I saw, I had to leave a review. Thank you. The universe thanks you for your patronage and for your time. This is amazing. You should clearly be a professional reviewer. 1 star. Once more, a piece of pop culture gets vandalized by its current caretakers. The animation was fantastic. I love that the animation was fantastic and they still gave it 1 star. At least they're giving it some voice acting decent, with the exception of SMG as Teela. So the elements of a good show was there, but the story was miserable. I couldn't recognize most of the characters by look or behavior. Seriously? Like, they really didn't do a lot to change some of these looks. I mean, Teela was a pretty big departure, but still. And for a show whose titular character is He-Man, he was quickly shuffled off the stage to make room for the ladies.
And I say, ladies, just give me a chance to do a hip-hop dance. Give me a chance to do a dance. Oh, yeah!
You see, this is where they're showing their true feelings here. That makes them very uncomfortable. Every male character presented in the show was cringeworthy for me. So maybe what they're trying to say is they wanted it to be all female. I don't know. Goodbye to you, Netflix. This will finally get me to spend my streaming dollars on HBO Max for a while. Get better and I'll consider coming back. So basically what they're saying is that they kept their Netflix subscription like long enough to watch the first 5 episodes. Now they're going to unsubscribe and wait for them to put out 5 more, and they'll resubscribe to watch those. 1/2 star. Took my childhood and crushed it under their heel. Kevin Smith, you are pathetic. R.I.P. He-Man. Oh, your poor childhood. That's my favorite complaint. Oh my God. Why would Kevin Smith lie like this? Here's a fun one. A total fail. A show about He-Man without He-Man. Don't lose your time. Here's one. A fraud, definitely. I was hoping they would really respect the essence of the original series, but no. They had to do the same as Terminator Dark Fate. Oh my gosh, now they're bringing in Terminator Dark Fate. It deserves to fail for misleading advertising, its lousy script, and its unbearable protagonist. I urge all other fans not to watch it, and those who have already seen it to pull down this mediocre project. In other words, please review bomb this. You probably wouldn't publicize that you are giving us a Spider-Man movie, just so that in the theater we learn that it does not feature Spider-Man. Even worse, that it makes him look bad. This is something I don't understand. How did the show make He-Man look bad? Does it really make him look bad? I don't think so. Here's a bizarre one. The animation is the only good thing. Add some 80s music in the background and it will make a perfect music video. That's all. Here's a fun one because they still gave it the dignity of 2 stars. He-Man dies? Why? Nothing about He-Man and his band of merry friends going up against Skeletor. See, this guy, he just wants it to be the old show again. Many thanks to Kevin Smith for pulling such a great bait and switch. My one and only praise goes to the people who were in charge of the animation, which is truly stunning and beautiful. I love that it's an animated show, and they've called the animation stunning and beautiful and still gave it 1 star. And do you see the ignorance here? Teela and her girlfriend. Oh my. Another classic character in Mythos murdered by the entertainment industry. Oh my, well, okay. All right, we have a counter argument here, a little different than what we've seen. Go check it out for yourself. This is an incredible read. I could go on and on all day. This video could go on for hours. But fans are killing Masters of the Universe Revelation. If it tanks, it's because of these insane fans. It's because people can't let go of a childhood being as idyllic and just like they remember it. And it's just sad. It's an excellent show. Ignore the haters. And I congratulate Kevin Smith and company for making an incredible show. All right, friends. God bless you and yours. And thanks for watching. Fanboy out.